and are only interested in truth telling. The program comes your way Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's speak from our hearts, heal our wounds, and build Mama Liberia for good. Truth-telling is the bedrock of good journalism. Straight from the heart on Sky 107.1 is that platform you can rely on for credible, undiluted, and unbiased analysis. It is thought-provoking. It speaks nothing but the truth to whoever is involved. Our presenters remain impartial and are only interested in truth-telling. The program comes your way Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's speak from our hearts, heal our wounds, and build Mama Liberia for good. Truth-telling is the bedrock of good journalism. Straight from the heart on Sky 107. Credible, undiluted, and unbiased analysis. It is thought-provoking. It speaks nothing but the truth to whoever is involved. Our presenters remain impartial and are only interested. The program comes your way Monday through Friday. Let's speak from our hearts, heal our wounds, Mama Liberia for good.
Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. And pray. Oh, Liberia, wake up. Wake up and do something. Oh, Liberia, try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's all we need in our world of the control. Mama, wake up, my people. Can't you hear the song? Can't you see the shining sun? We've been sleeping so long. No time for guns. No time to do wrong. Say the war is gone. My people be strong.
Good morning and a pleasant welcome to another interesting edition of the program, Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. Today's day, 17th day of August 2021. Welcoming you on this Tuesday. Straight from the Heart. We apologize to you that yesterday we could not be here because yes, we were off. In fact, we came on very late, around 8 o'clock is the time we set up some things here, Sky, to come back on the air. We apologize that Straight from the Heart I come to you yesterday. But yes, we brought nothing to hide. We brought in two doctors, Dr. Nyakwe Joma and Dr. Sumo from Kari together. We brought them in Sky Studio to talk about the happenings there at Kari. But this morning, we're going to go to District 14. There's some group of young people today will be assembling at the Capitol building against their lawmaker. They want to ask him some questions. They're going to be petitioning his colleagues there at the legislature to find out why is it that he's not been able to give them report, financial report, legislative report, and what are some of the developmental initiatives that have been carried out in the district that the lawmaker is not accessible and so on. So yes, the group is, by the way, Movement Against the Re-Election of Representative Abraham Bamuya Corner III. Mr. Wise and his colleague going to be here this morning to tell us more about that and how the assembly going to be like at the Capitol building today. But before all of that, have you heard that Dr. Cassell has relieved three or four persons, high-profile individuals from the party, including the national chairman, the national vice chair, the secretary general, and so on. My name is Matthias Labini. We're going to be right back after this break.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's all we need in our love control. Mama,
can't you see the shining sun? You've been sleeping so long. No time for guns, no time to do wrong. My people be strong.
Wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's all we need in our love. Wokama, wina moto mweka. Wokama, muna moto mweka. Ufanu, unyamano. Wokama, salune, labire, abore, ginie. Wokama.
And that's right. Wake up this morning. Wake up, Mama Liberia. If you're up already, let me say, good morning to you. If you're not yet and you're still struggling to get out of your bed, I want to say wake up. It's always good to wake up early. Good morning and welcome to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.1. I just want to begin, on this note that the is challenged with lots of health crises, and so I think it is time that our nations, African nations, leaders of African countries, they really need to start thinking outside the box and ensuring that they can bring about total change in this continent. That today, Africa is reporting outbreak of a new virus. Guinea is reporting an outbreak of a new virus. Liberia is still struggling with the coronavirus situation. Sierra Leone is going through the same coronavirus situation. If West Africa's health sector is not that strong to combat health crisis confronting us, and our African leaders, they only depend on the West to ensure that they take care of issues here back home, resources here available, funds that come into the country, even given by international partners. They feel that their people that elected them should not benefit enough from these basic, assistance coming to the country. So to the countries, most of them rob their citizens, of their just benefits, and yet keep the system very poor. That every little sickness, every little disease can just break through and kill hundreds, if not thousands of people in Africa. So why do we keep talking about diseases? Why we keep talking about viruses affecting us in the continent? Why we keep talking about challenges, we continue to undergo in the continent? Why we keep talking about health situations? Why maternal death, is surging every day? African leaders don't seem to sit down, maybe except for a few countries, Rwanda, that is now an area of attraction. But most of our leaders do not seem to see the problems that this continent is faced with. Most of our leaders do not seem to even care about the problems their countries are experiencing. That can we find a solution, a joint solution? That maybe, for example, West Africa, Health Association, Center for the Disease Control, West Africa. All right. I know we have Africa Center for Disease Control. Can we, break it in segments so that we can be able to tackle? We are all tackling one problem, right? In Africa, health problem, economic problem, corruption issue, and all of that. So since health is something that usually when we are attacked, when our health sector is attacked in Africa, any part of Africa, when our health sector is attacked, we tend to get crippled in so many ways. Our kids stop going to school. In the West, children stay home, they stay in classes, even though they are not in the physical classrooms. They have computers, they have lecturers spending more time online teaching the kids. So even during the time of coronavirus, many African kids will not have the time to go to school because there's no system made for them. Even in a situation involving coronavirus, a lot of kids in America, in other African, in other West countries or Western countries, European countries, their kids remain in school, they continue to be educated. But back in Africa, we shut down everything. We shut down our economies. We quarantine our people. We isolate them. We go through that our economies get any recovery plan to start moving forward. While we are fighting one health crisis, one is breaking. So instead of African leaders sitting and always waiting to get support from international partners, if you people can apply sincerity in everything you do and bring back to Africa its rightful sanity, true leadership, demonstration of patriotism, or leadership, then we'll see the establishment or construction of a disease study center in West Africa. It could be in Liberia, in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone, that all medical doctors, health experts from all the West African solutions to find solutions to the prevailing problems that the continent continues to face. We're in line with the World Health Organization because that's the reason why the Madagascar health was not accepted. I'm starting on this note because waking up to Africa's situation, I'm going to get the name of that particular virus that Africa is experiencing right now. All right? Waking up to that news, as well as Guinea, the Marburg disease that's affecting people right now. At least the fact that there's a report that it is there, it simply means we have this African proverb that says, when your neighbor's roof is on fire, it simply means that it is only a fool goes to bed with his neighbor's roof on fire. Because if you go to bed while your neighbor's roof is on fire, it simply means that the day because the fire could spill over. So a situation affecting Guinea, Ivory Coast, Sierra Leone automatically affects Liberia because we have people traveling to these countries every day. But the real thing here, idea I'm pushing out here is that I think it's better that you African leaders, I know we have most of the nationals in Africa here in Liberia. By that I mean Africans travel a lot to other African countries. I know you have South Africans here, you have Nigerians, you have Togolese, you have Gambians and all of that. We are all one people. But until our leaders can sit down and look within themselves to find solutions to the problems confronting Africa, we are going to continue to face these problems. Look at what happened to C.H. Rennie Hospital. That you didn't have enough fire extinguishers even at that hospital. That led to that partial burning of the hospital, affecting patients. Well, I heard in the news, now coming back locally now, I heard in the news that the president has joined, street analysts to speculate that somebody may have been responsible for the situation there at C.H. Rennie Hospital. Well, if the president goes on to join, street analysts now to speculate, to say, from the way I look at this thing, is that someone is responsible without a conduct of a full-scale investigation to discover what led to that. It speaks volume to the fact that maybe the president does not trust most of the investigative teams he's been setting up. That's the reason why we've not seen enough actions on his part from the president's office. That other committees have been set up, conducted investigation, beginning with Nokal, till now we yet to get any action from the president. So when now the president is joining street analysts now to just speculate. That the way I'm looking at this thing, it seems somebody from here is aware of this. May be responsible for this. Of course, somebody may be responsible, or it could also be a technical or electrical shock. Even if it is an electrical shock, the electrician is still responsible because the electrician should be able to check that properly. But should the president join other people to speculate, or there should be immediate action, despite the many serious critical issues we've been confronted with lately? At least the president spoke on the CH uranium. Maybe that is really dear to his heart. I don't know who actually made him to speak to that, but unfortunately, ending his speech with a speculation that somebody may have been responsible for this and all of that. What the president should be saying, that there is already a technical and a strategic committee, investigative committee set up to ensure that we bring the culprit to book. But anyway, this is Liberia. So yes, we cannot solve the problems affecting us here if we do not have serious leaders in our individual countries. Well, quickly, I just want to go to a particular development right now that sounds hilarious, but is really, really important to look at it. You know, for us to look at it as in that, you know, we have to understand why political leaders take certain actions. Why was this action taken against, you know, a man like Waymond P, Chairman Waymond P, former chairman of the United Party? He has been relieved of his post as chairman of the People's Liberation Party by Dr. Daniel E. Cassell. And I'm going to read you the termination letter, and I have it here in my possession. I'm going to read a termination letter to you, the public. But firstly, let me give you positions that were affected by the action of Mr. Cassell, Dr. Cassell. National chairman position, that is Waymond Pay's position. National Vice Chair for Political Affairs, Heron B. Saki. National Secretary General, Kamswa Lazim B. Kamswa. And Youth Chairman, Carlos Edison Tingban. So this political leader of the People's Liberation Party took a decision in just a day's time to terminate the responsibilities, to terminate the duties of 4 strategic members, you know, National Executive Committee members of the party. You have the national chairman, you have the national vice chair for political affairs, 2, national secretary, 3, and that's the youth wing chair of the party. The 4 positions have been affected, by the way, by the chairman, by the political leader, because he took an action to terminate, you know, their duties with the party. Quickly want to go to this particular termination of their duties, of their responsibilities, so that you can know exactly why, you know, why he did what he did. Let's find out what happened, what led to this action from Mr. Cassell. Is it that Chairman Waymond P, this action was taken against him because he grossly violated the constitution of the party, as has been reported? Let's read the communication quickly. We're going to touch a few other developments and hear from you, but it's better that we know new parties coming in and certain actions are taken. It could also be, maybe when I read the communication in my analysis, I may just include that World Chairman Dr. Cassell is one person that is maybe presenting himself through this action as a man that Liberians should look up to for proper leadership, because given that the fact that he can take such action against, let's know first, let's get the content of the communication that led to the termination of the chairmanship position, the acting national chairman position of the People's Liberation Party, which was headed by Mr. Waymond Pay. All right, and this communication here reads, dear Mr. Pay, no, let me begin with the letter here. People's Liberation Party, Edgewater, St. Congo Town, Aurora, Liberia, blah, blah, blah. August 10, 2021. Mr. Waymond Pay, acting national chairman, People's Liberation Party, nation letter. Dear Mr. Pay, this is to advise you of the numerous complaints. This is to advise you of the numerous complaints that have been brought to my attention as well as other GPC members that demonstrates gross violation of the constitutional rights of several members of the People's Liberation Party serving in leadership positions across several counties. Below are the specific instances and outcomes of our investigations. 1. Your handling of a previous conflict between the acting Montserrat County Youth Assembly, Chocon, and the Montserrat County Chairman, Reuben Washington, without proper investigation and recommendation to the GPC for action. You proceeded by single-handedly and discriminatorily recalling the inducted acting Montserrat County Youth Assembly Chairman, Chocon, and replacing him with a member outside the current administration. It was also reportedly confirmed you directly instructed and authorized County Chairman Washington to replace the entire leadership of the County Youth Assembly with unknown members who have not been vetted and approved by the GPC. As a result of your mishandling of the above mentioned situations, a wing of the Montserrat County Youth Assembly who had presented a formal protest ensued protest ensued and was carried out at our HQ in Congotown by the brigade petition citing numerous violations for which they are demanding your resignation. See attached. I was able to meet with the entire leadership of the Montserrat County Youth Assembly and protesters and calmed them down with the reassurance that I was going to explore the situation exhaustively and revert at the soonest. All right. Let me get the letter, the communication slide. Let's get to the other one. To the soonest. Said to the soonest possible time. However, the threat of similar and larger protests across several counties appears to be imminent, given the consistent pattern of violation of the constitutional rights of leadership members of the PLP, which could create significant future insurrections and inabilities within our party, and if not arrested at this point, could undermine our party's ability to ascend to state power. 2. Similarly, concerns have been reported and confirmed that you had removed and replaced the acting Nimba County Chairman, Tartus, and other counties' chairs from their positions as well as their entire leaderships and replaced them with other members of our party without prior knowledge, vetting, and approval of the GPC. 3. Additionally, it has been brought to my attention by several executive and non-executive members of the GPC that you had made several undermining and derogatory statements about me, which includes but are not limited to the following, unquote, which you clearly stated should be reported to me that you wanted me to know these things. A, Dr. Cassell not have the pedigree to lead our nation. B, Dr. Cassell should turn over the party to me so that you can run it and do fundraising. B, Dr. Cassell do not know how to run a political party. D, Dr. Cassell, I should be put in charge of the party's finances. All right. Further, not only do I find these statements to be divisive, undermining, and condescending, but grossly disrespectful and contrary to the core values of the People's Liberation Party. Also, having been rescued from a failed political career within the body of politics in Liberia to where your failure was climaxed by your ejection from the Unity Party for similar behavior, you have clearly demonstrated the behavior and spirit of undermining and ingratitude to a person who has truly cared about you. 4. This is the fourth count. Furthermore, as recent as yesterday, August 10, 2021, I was informed that you had once again instructed the National Youth Assembly Chairman, Mr. Carlos, to form a specialized military brigade auxiliary group comprising of over 200 individuals with notorious backgrounds for the sole purpose of carrying out your personal agenda and creating similar and more severe insurrection and inability within our party from this point leading up to the convention, and without the consent of the acting national vice chair for auxiliary chairman and the GPC. Of the above mentioned behaviors, which are party bylaws and constitutions, protest and inability and instability caused within our party, and the potential of future insurrections, protest, and instability that could prevent our party's chance of ascending to state power, I do hereby terminate your appointment from the position of acting national chairman for the People's Liberation Party with immediate effect as of August 16, 2021. To this end, you are requested to turn over the PLP's vehicle and all other properties which are assigned to you at the consent and during the tenure of your appointment. At the onset, by the way, and during the tenure of your appointment, I wish you well in all your future political endeavors. Sincerely yours, Dr. Daniel E. Cassell, PhD, MPH, political leader, vision bearer, People's Liberation Party, PLP. So Dr. Cassell, by the way, has removed Mr. Waymont P., formerly of the Unity Party, from his position as acting chairman of the People's Liberation Party. Now, you listen to the reading of the communication here written by Dr. Cassell. First of all, in this communication, Dr. Cassell did not indicate in this communication that Waymont P. was at any point in time investigated. He was informed about any investigation. There was nothing here indicated. Dr. Cassell did not indicate here the violation, the constitutional violation, carried out by Mr. P., Waymont P., against the PLP. At least for the benefit, obviously this communication was, I think, knowing that the communication would have gotten the public, for the benefit of the public, it should have informed us at least the particular provision of the bylaws of the PLP that got violated by, Mr. P. Well, these other counts, that were mentioned here, or that are mentioned here by Dr. Cassell, I just don't understand. I think these counts, these 4 counts, first of all, that somebody told him, Dr. Cassell, do not, Dr. Cassell not have, if I'm writing in colloquia, Dr. Cassell not have the pedigree to lead our nation. Dr. Cassell should turn over the party to me so that you can run it and do fundraising. I don't understand this other English here. Dr. Cassell do not know how to run a political party. And he also said, quoting, quote unquote, reportedly quoting Mr. P, that I should be put in charge of the party's finances. All of these are gossips. All right. I just want to term them that way. These are gossips, information reportedly or believed to be from Mr. Waymont P. Until Waymont P can speak, given the manner in which they are included in this particular communication, one can decipher clearly that Dr. Cassell took this action based on gossip shared with him by other people within the party that probably didn't have interest in Mr. Waymond Pay's leadership. Now, to mention that, Waymond Pay said, and in this whole communication, he did not even give, to the best of my knowledge, from the way this communication is written, because he was just concluding based on his investigation he conducted. He visited people, he gathered information about Waymond Pay, and he indicated these particular things in the communication without indicating that even at a point that we invited you for an investigation and blah blah blah, you could not deny or no blah 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 accept anything levied against you. But from the way he presented this, it was based on the fact that he conducted investigation about Waymond Pay. But was Waymond Pay giving his day at least due process? Was he giving due process to hear from him as to whether these things that are stated about him are true or not? Was he giving due process by Dr. Cassell? Now, to go further to say that Dr. Cassell, now he mentioned that you, Waymond Pay, I like Liberian politicians. When they give you $5 the day you sleep, they'll tell you. In the public, they'll get on the radio and tell you, Julius, the man said to Mr. Pay, that you had a failed political career in the Liberian society. You got ejected from the Unity Party. Your entire political career was already dying. I came and resurrected you and brought you in my party, and gave you a position at least to act for now as chairman of the party. And people told me, that you can undermine. I want to put it in a simpler form, right? That you can undermine people. You undermine people in the United Party. The same undermining act you carry out in the United Party that led to your ejection from the party is the same thing you've demonstrated here. Based on information he gathered, he corroborated the information with what he heard about Waymond Pay, what he was a member or chairman of the Unity Party. He compared what he gathered. Now, first, he investigated Waymond Pay's action during the time he was in the Unity Party. He investigated him and kept whatever information he gathered about Waymond Pay to himself. Waymond Pay assumed the position as acting chairman of the party. So every little, in my mind now, every little information he been gathering about Waymond Pay, he been corroborating the information with what he heard about him previously while he was a member of the Unity Party. That's why he indicated in this communication that, listen, you had a failed political career, and I brought you back to life. I resurrected you. I gave you, there's a place here he mentioned that. He said, not only do I find these statements to be divisive, undermining, and condescending, but grossly disrespectful and contrary to the core values of the People's Liberation Party, PLP. Also, having been rescued from a failed political career within the body of politics in Liberia to where your failure was climaxed by your ejection from the Unity Party for similar behavior, you have clearly demonstrated the behavior and spirit of undermining and ingratitude to a person who has truly cared about you. Dr. Cassell claimed to have truly cared about Waymond Pay. But that's the reason why, because he cared about Waymond Pay's political career, political future. That's the reason why, despite the fact that he already had a failed political career, he came to rescue Waymond Pay. He did not consider stigma. He did not consider any record of Waymond Pay yesterday. He brought him on board because, according to him, he thought to rescue Waymond Pay's failed political career. But Waymond Pay again has reportedly demonstrated the same undermining, this spirit of undermining that he demonstrated in the Unity Party against previous administration of the Unity Party. So there you have it, folks. I can just go on and on and on and give you more information about this particular communication. Now, he also accused Mr. Pay of forming a military brigade within the party that would be there solely to defend Waymond Pay exclusively. that maybe during the time of convention, it is the military brigade now that will be creating the momentum to ensure that Waymond P is elected as chairman proper of the party. I know that Waymond P is not going to keep silent. Until then, I reached out to him this morning where he said he's not ready yet to comment on it. He's giving us some time. And so, but as far as from what I've heard so far in the news about him, the only statement I've heard about Waymond P now is that he has responded partly, that is partially, but he said the statement is comical or laughable, and it is in total violation of the Constitution of the People's Liberation Party. I hope Mr. Waymond P is not going to file a lawsuit against Dr. Cassell, because if this is something that is in violation of the PLP's constitution, and if Waymond P has a right, has a leverage in this matter, maybe he can file a lawsuit against him. But what do you think? Do you think Dr. Cassell acted as a leader, as a true leader, or he acted based on gossip, based on mere gossip, from people who have been taking information to him? Because from what I've read, most of the things included in this particular communication are based on information he gathered from other people. Folks, a lot of things have happened, and unfortunately, yesterday, whenever we fail to come on the air due to some technical reasons, even those of us, the presenters, we get affected by that because we love the profession. But waking up to too many developments yesterday, I couldn't just help it. But I listened to the pastor from Riverside County whose daughter was killed by a young man he was helping, explaining his ordeal. That he, contrary to the reports that, he due this particular guy something, he didn't owe him anything. In fact, the guy was living with him. He was providing shelter for the guy. But unfortunately, this guy is now, he took away the life of his daughter, of his only daughter, and so on. So it's really, 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 really unfortunate, for this particular family. But we hope that the police can investigate properly. Now the man is under police custody. But yes, let there be justice. The child's life is not going to be, restored. Charles MacArthur de Gaulle. Charles MacArthur de Gaulle. Charles de Gaulle is currently stating that he's going to expose and that he can now speak. He can now speak clearly because, given the situation now, it is very important for him to speak out because from the way he's looking at it, he confessed based on duress. I want to read exactly what he wrote. His confession is based on duress, and the real culprits are the big guns. The real culprits are the big guns. Now, I want to just connect something I gathered yesterday about Charles and this particular information that he put on his page. So Charles de Gaulle, is reported that Charles has left the country and he passed through Sierra Leone. He was never under the custody of the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. He was home. Even up to the time the National Port Authority did the press statement, he was still home. The information is that Charles has left the country. That's reported. It's not confirmed. And he made his way via Sierra Leone. That he could not use the airport. That he could not be issued visa according to the information. It's unconfirmed, right? But minutes later, I gathered the information. A source contacted me to give me the information. We saw this thing on Charles de Gaulle's page. It reads, It's about time I speak and make clarity about the entire allegation. I had no option than accepting under duress, fear of death, being in imminent danger. I have all the documents and communications in my possession. Locking my office not to get hold of any documents was a failed attempt because every document I deemed essential was kept on my iCloud and it will be published to the press and the Liberian people. I won't be the sacrificial lamb. I am safe now. I can talk. If it wasn't about my integrity, I would have kept quiet. and we apologize to friends that this clarity we expose. But it's about my name being rubbed in the dirt while the real culprits are the big guns. First of all, just to connect something here, I think you're gonna see sense in what I said earlier. To say he's safe now, Charles could not be in Liberia and write this thing on Facebook. That's one. Charles could not be in Liberia and even attempt to speak out if only he thinks that he's been used as a sacrificial lamb. To say he's safe now, it means he's not in the country. He's somewhere that he can expose as many people as possible. That's how I see it. Connecting with what my source informed me yesterday that Charles has left the country. But to say that his office is locked, some of the relevant documents, he kept them on his iCloud, and the documents are going to be published to the media and all of that. Wait, so how is the Liberia, Anti-Corruption Commission, the LACC, going after criminals? I'm told that the LACC went to Bishop Allen Clay's church to issue him a communication or notice of invitation while he was in service on Sunday, instead of waiting for service to be over for this man to be communicated to, or even a text message could suffice. All right. If they could exhibit such exuberance, in discharging their duties, why couldn't they, hold Mr. DeGaulle? With this information, it clearly shows here that Mr. Charles MacArthur DeGaulle is not in Liberia. Charles has left the country. Charles is somewhere now, and Charles is now free to speak out because he's not going to allow himself to be used as a sacrificial lamb, but instead, he's going to expose the people, the higher guns, the big guns that are involved with this particular thing. Anyway, folks, welcome. This is Straight from the Heart and Sky, 107.1. We've highlighted a few developments. Let's hear from you now. Call us in the numbers 0777 107, 0777 221 223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You can also call us on WhatsApp on 0777 221 223 to be live on the program. Call us on those numbers. Let's hear you. Call us on 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223. The numbers you can call us on to participate on the program. Dr. Daniel Cassell act based on emotion, based on gossip, or he acted based on clear administrative proceedings. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Uncle Carlo, and I call from my resident lodge, Dero Avenue on Jamaica Road.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I listen to your talking point, especially when it comes to PUP.
PLP.
PLP, rather. Yeah. For me, the question you asked whether Dr. Carter has stable leadership ability, I would say no. The first thing you should give one due process if you hear anything negative of him.
Well, we don't know. We are not sure whether we can't state for a fact whether Dr. Cassell gave Mr. P due process or not. I'm only saying based on the lines in the communication I read, I didn't see anything that shows that due process was given to Mr. P. That's the point.
I concur with you.
Okay.
Because if he were going to give due process, I believe you are going to place that into a communication, and then administrative head that going against you to say they're dismissing you. When they're coming out to the public with communication, I think all of that should be embedded within it. Having said that, for the manager at Buchanan Port, for me, the government blunder. They told us that they got confessed openly, and he was turned over to LACC. So how did he escape from LACC?
Gaglon. You say your name is Gaglon, right, brother?
No, Caro.
If you've been following the program, you know it. So there was nothing like investigation conducted. I informed the public. This is no call
on your show, but it is the same thing because Ray that they put in stop to the guys and not to travel. They bind them from traveling, but they already know they got out of the country.
Okay.
Like he said, big guns hands are in it.
Thank you, Carol. Let's move on to this other person. Call us in the numbers 0777 221 Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This is Bill Madonna. My phone for Central Order.
Mr. Wanta, go ahead.
You see, I want to make the point of Mr. Carter.
Dr.
You see,
Cassell.
I think Dr. Carter indicated a lot of points about the irregularity of women play, and also cited what he did at the Unity Party compared to making to read the conscience at the level of the party. So I think Mr. should have learned from experience of the power political at the levels of the mid party, and also to comment on the actions of the people of the party. I think something that is certainly are better along the party, because the one party, the political party, opposition political party, are going to see somebody's responsibility what made the political party to gain the confidence also of the country. I think it's something that requires the check. So I think that's complications as well. In front of it, political charge God. You see, I had a little problem with the government part of the way in which the just on this government. The president and the LSC are not doing justice. Just imagine, like you said, concerning to each and every with the plate. That's nothing. It should be justice by text and all the things. And now the man is charged because just want to have some people that had the legislature to be able to lease out what happened at the court in the government. I believe that on a former government, a lot of people were talking about one of the booklets, the party booklet who want to justice on other people. I believe that this government, the international community will have problem with the government. When things are sort of not done well, I think what you said, we don't want the story to be what happened for the passport division before we have money on the market.
Okay. But it's the same, Bill. Thank you so much. It's the same with the passport division, saga. So Charles is now in a better position to speak out, and some of the big hands whose names are involved may just be reaching out to him in his inbox and say, "My man, just sit down, let the sleeping dog lag, don't make any statement, enjoy your money wherever you are," and so on. Because this is a syndicate. It cannot be an individual thing. And I informed the public earlier that this thing, we're just going to see it, just being swept under the carpet. All this action, yes, the National Port Authority did the right thing. But who are the big guns? Can we start naming some people? Who are the big guns? Could it be Mr. Bill Twawe, Managing Director of the National Port Authority? Did he get a share of that money? Did he influence the young man to do that? Who are the big guns? Could it be some of the guys, at the Ministry of State? Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is David E. Harris, and I'm calling my resident this morning.
Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, on the issue of Charles, I listened to this phone call last night, and the CEO stated that Charles is in the U.S. and Charles contacted Ben, Sandy, and Timberland George that he wanted to appear on his phone talk, but they are working on it. On the issue of the PLP, Matthias, the party chair relieving from his duty, was it constitutional? Were they afforded due process? And my question. On the issue of the virus that all broke in Guinea, what is our Liberian government doing to prevent the situation from spreading further?
Man, thank you. Matthias, that's a great question.
We're facing the issue of the coronavirus in our country, and I think our health sector are now equipped to combat the issue of the virus. And the new virus that are outbreaking in Guinea, the Marburg virus. What is the World Health Organization doing to at least release certain data for to know the effect of that identical virus? And what our government doing in field to working along with the media, the media all of that in the country to properly educate the people in that region to know the effect of that identical virus. I really want our government to do something. Thank you this morning, Matthias.
Thank you. Now, folks, let me inform you people about something, another comical thing, right? You see, Charles de Gaulle is in the US, all right? He's now making his way to get on Spoon Talk, right? Okay, one of the biggest evening platforms in Liberia. So there was nothing like this rate of knee exit Republica. Knee exit Republica is a rate that the city court files against you to prevent you from traveling when you have a situation with your country, or you still have some legal issues hovering on you. Now, Mr. Charles de Gaulle is still undergoing investigation. He's left the country. Duana Kamara, there's this story that the Front Page Africa is reporting that lawyers representing the legal interest of co-respondent Duana A. Kamara in Bakto, LWSC boss, have prayed the Stependary Magistrate Joma S. Jala, Monrovia City Magistrate Court at the Temple of Justice in Monrovia, Montserrat County, to deny and dismiss the issuance of a writ of petition for knee exit Republica against their client, Duana A. Kamara, or if not issued, be rejected. A writ of knee exit Republica, according to the Black Law Dictionary, is defined as a writ restraining a person from leaving the republic. Knee exit writs are issued to ensure satisfaction of claims against a defendant. So if there are a lot of people who should receive this, right? Even Charles by now should have heard that knee exit Republica, this writ should have been issued against him, but not hearing that the young man is in the States. I saw this coming, predicted this, and I spoke with so much, fact and optimism that this would have happened. This would have been result. That Charles is already on his way to the U.S. Sometime last week, we told you that this young man will end up in the U.S. and he's just going to speak from there and all of that. Today, he's reporting to the public that yes, he's going to be exposing a number of people. Let's hear the names. Could it be that the superintendent of Grand Basso is also involved in this syndicate, John J. Barclay? Because they were bodies too, right? All right. So we hope to hear from Charles. Let Charles expose the people whose names are involved into this. But why is Duana Kamara is prevented from traveling, from the country? Is it because he's suspended by the president? There's someone acting there in order. What is the investigation that's currently ongoing? What is the status of the LWSC situation? So Duana Kamara can now leave the country, according to the court, but Charles is in the U.S. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias. How's the morning with you in studio?
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you.
I would say good morning, Nigerian people.
Good morning.
This is Prince EJ Brothery, commonly known as 911. Sorry for the poor quality of my voice. I'm not well.
So sorry. Go ahead.
Matthias, what I have to say this morning, sometimes people come up and challenge someone on their own right, say that nothing will happen. You take me anywhere, it will just be going on the carpet, the carpet. But I want we the Liberians to know, if we do anything among ourselves, we're facing it. It's just like when the baby is crippled, and then the mother go ahead and send the baby in the nest of the driver. Definitely that child will die. So Liberians, let us group ourselves together under the one umbrella. Thank you. Have yourself a good day. 911.
Thanks for the contribution on the program this morning, 911. And the Front Page Africa is reporting have authorities in Liberia say they are monitoring recent reports of a new outbreak of Ebola in neighboring Ivory Coast and has instituted measures to keep surveillance on cross-border activities. So, Harris, the question you asked, what are health authorities doing? Now you have the information. According to Dr. Francis Keta, Liberia's chief medical officer, a surveillance team from the Ministry of Health has been posted to monitor the situation. Let's hear from this last person on this segment of the program. Let's hear from this person on the line. All right. So, call us on the numbers. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
I'm Keto calling from the borough.
Keto, go ahead.
Yes, I think you said it all. You know, one thing what we talk about is dual citizenship that it happening to us here. You will get two citizenship. And now they do anything wrong in Liberia, they escape. They escape the rule. We don't have no secret in this country to come down against anything that against the country. Now the people are escaping on a daily basis. They are escaping and they go in America and they want to talk about the government. While the time they were there when the government is doing wrong thing, they can't say it. Now this is the only time they are going to say it. You know, sometimes you will sit on a bench watching. The next the government that will be in power, you will see what come they will do. But now the same thing is happening. My brother, We just have to pray. Like we finish. Like we finish.
No, it's gonna be better. Thank you so much for your contribution on the program. Thanks for the contribution on the program. So yes, that's how people get frustrated by the system, and sometimes they make statements that even they themselves feel offended later on. I mean, affected by their own statements later on that the country is finished. I don't think so. It's going to be better. Let's squeeze in this person here quickly and join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, that is the national chairman of Namusu.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
You said it all this morning when it comes to PLP issue. Okay, you can look at the past of individuals and co-judge them. Okay, so that I think that the cassette did not play a leader role. I mean, these are some of the things we keep seeing, Matthias. That if you want to be a leader in this country, you got to have a thick skin the president wear. Okay, so Dr. Cassell, he hate gossip. So he wants to be a president for this country, wherein if you take the matter of authority, people will be saying things about you, how your living room look like, and what kind of clothes you wear. Okay, he want to be president, but he don't want to accept those things.
Okay,
so that's one that he did not give the man due process. The second thing, Matthias.
Thank you. We have to join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news.
Had achieved a much faster takeover of the country than his administration had expected. The U.S. rushed in troops to protect its own evacuating diplomats and others at the Kabul airport, but the president did express no second thoughts about his decisions to stick by the U.S. commitment formulated during the Trump administration to end America's longest war no matter what. When briefing the emergency session on the Afghanistan issue, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for united efforts for the international community in offering the Afghan people humanitarian support and securing the basic human rights. He said, "I appeal to the Security Council and the international community as a whole to stand together, to work together and act together and use all tools at its disposal to suppress the global terrorist threat in Afghanistan and to guarantee that basic human rights will be respected." The swift Taliban takeover of Afghanistan has news organizations simultaneously trying to cover the story, protect their journalists and families, and help people who have done work for them over the past 2 decades. Video of chaotic scenes from the Kabul airport were frequently repeated during the news reports. This is VOA News. A hospital in the southwestern Haiti area where a powerful earthquake flattened homes, shops, and other buildings over the weekend was so overwhelmed with patients that many had to lie in patios, corridors, verandas, and hallways. Then a looming storm to bring heavy rains forced officials to relocate them as best they could, given the hospital's poor conditions. Even those patients were somewhat fortunate. Haiti's Civil Protection Agency on Monday raised the death toll from Saturday's earthquake to 1,419 and the number of injured to 6,000, many of whom have had to wait under the burning heat, even on an airport tarmac, for help. Rescuers announced more bodies from the sites of several flooding that devastated parts of northern Turkey, bringing the death toll to at least 77. Torrential rains battered the country's northwestern Black Sea provinces on August 11th, causing floods that demolished homes and bridges, swept away cars, and blocked access to numerous roads. About 2,400 people were evacuated across the region amid the floods, with scores of them lifted to safety by helicopters. Many are being temporarily housed in student dormitories. U.S. President Joe Biden's administration is appealing a federal judge's order that blocked Biden's suspension of new oil and gas leases on federal land and waters. A Louisiana-based federal judge issued the ruling in June, siding with Louisiana's Attorney General and officials in 12 other states. Those states said the administration bypassed bureaucratic steps required before such delays can be undertaken, and that the moratorium would cost the states money and jobs. The administration said Monday the pause is needed because the leasing programs are responsible for significant greenhouse gas emissions. Spirit Airlines is putting numbers on a damaging stretch of flight cancellations this summer. It said Monday that it canceled more than 2,800 flights from July 30th to August 9th. It cost the airline about $50 million in lost revenue. It does say the meltdown, along with the surge in COVID-19 cases, is causing more last-minute cancellations. As a result, Spirit says it will reduce its to the third quarter, which ends September 30th. More at voanews.com. Via remote, I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
You already know, yeah. No matter how they try, no matter how they try, they never bring me down. No matter how they fight. No matter how they fight, they can never bring me down. I deserve to enjoy, I want body no way. I deserve to be popular, I want body no way. I deserve to enjoy, I want body no way. I deserve to be popular, I want body no way. Anybody say I wanna make it, I wanna fire you. Anybody try to bring me down, I wanna fire you. Anybody try to bring me down, I wanna fire you. Anybody try my hustle, I wanna fire you. The more they try, the more I shine me. The more they try to bring me down, the more I win me. The more they try, the more I shine me. Oh, the more they try to bring me down, the more I win me. My money to eat for me. My papa say I only in my shop. My woman need to eat for me, oh. And my boss say I only in my shop. My brother and my sister need to eat for me. My friends that come around me need to eat for me. The people that want me need to eat for me. But somebody don't want to help me. Anybody say I wanna make it, I wanna fire you. Anybody try to bring me down, I wanna fire you. Anybody try to bring me down, I wanna fire you. Anybody try my hustle, I wanna fire you. The more they try, the more I shine it. The more they try to bring me down, the more I need. The more they try, the more I shine it. Oh.
And that's right. The more people try to bring you down, if you keep your focus, you're certainly going to keep winning. With God above, you are going to be the best you can be. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. There's a particular song I would like to, listen to quickly before I start this second segment of the program. It's from Amaze. And he says that know who to vote for. He features Peaches on that one. Know who to vote for. It's very important that ahead of elections, it's good for people to study characters, individuals in their various constituencies before they cast their ballots. Let's listen to this song. We'll come back. We, join our guest.
Come here again with a colorful skin now. The focus one time, two time. My people now listen. No more voting for no more voting cause we know you. It's time to put love in first. Patriotism all the way. I'm bringing up that shit. I say they're not 14. They won't eat a mic. They won't suck on a campaign. Granny, I tell you, I think that you say the same. What's your feature? Let's get you. What are you blouse? Papers, never done. P-raw. The process party for all that. Getting all the above. I'm talking for cheering. Community, let's take part in the exercise of your photo cards. At least you will be recognized.
You will know who to vote for. Decision you made today to determine your future.
You know who to vote for. You will know who to vote for. String all your candidate before you choose a leader. You know who to vote for.
You better know who to vote for. Say, you better vote for your future.
You know who to vote for. You will know who to vote for.
You will know who to vote for. Decision you made today to determine your future.
You know who to vote for. You will know who to vote for. String all your candidate before you choose a leader. You know who to vote for.
You better know who to vote for. Say, you better vote for your future.
You know who to vote for.
Major flavor. I subscribe. Know the vote for by. Most of the men say they can't the food come for Yankee by the Jeffrey low But where were y'all when we used to suffer? We hustle all day, we can't even get football. LIB the politician are jokers. My LIB youth, I want you keep on your focus. Listen, I said look at the focus. In my area, he say in Benny, one dolly hall for certain type of reason by the project, good up. But anything you do, stay my mouth with talking. Yeah, I'm talking about my own future. No matter where you are, stay my message will reach you. Corruption can all will not satisfy. Make my heart press slow until I testify. But certain people in the country, I will notify. You wanna know who to vote for? Decision you made today. Could determine your future. You know who to vote for. You wanna know who to vote for. String all your candidate before you choose a leader. You know who to vote for. You better know who to vote for. Say, you better vote for your future. You know who to vote for. Yeah, I there. You wanna know who to vote for. Yeah, accountability live, teach your minds. Hip Code Network. Amazing, yo.
And that's right. You know, sometimes when we analysts say recycle politicians, be very careful with recycle politicians. Some other political actors say, no, that is not a good description of people because politicians will always leave from one organization to another. But in the end, you see that some of them, their reputation get tinted before they get to your own organization. So when you recycle them with their tinted record into your organization, it means you are like the story I share with you, inherit my HIV, a family that every time a man dies in a family, another brother should take that woman. So if she has HIV, you inherit even her HIV, right? But good morning, welcome. Let's go to District 14 now, Montserrat County, where remove that, please. Where there are reports, that the district lawmaker, which we've reached out to his office like 3 or 4 times now, at least to get his office respond to some of these, to get his office respond. You're back. To get his office to respond to some of these things, allegation leveled against him by district residents. We are hoping that someday the lawmaker's office will consider using the radio to explain how it's engaging the people in terms of leadership in that area. So our platform is open. At any time they're ready, they can get back to us. We did that even yesterday, reach out to the office of the lawmaker. In fact, we should have been having a conversation with the lawmaker's office this morning instead of these young people. But because of the fact that they, and are ready to get to us, to come on radio, no problem. So the young people here, they're from the organization Movement Against the Re-election of Honorable Abraham Vamuya Conacher of District 14. And today they are taking a petition to the House of Representatives. And at the same time, they're going to be speaking to us on a number of things happening in that district. How is he leading? What do you think, all of you out there following the program, what do you think about the leadership of the District 14 representative? There are a lot of districts here, but one after the other, we're going to deal with them, like that. So, Chairman, we say good morning. Welcome to Straight from the Heart.
Good morning, Matthias, and good morning to the peace-loving people of Liberia, and good morning to the family of Sky FM. And let me say good morning to all the executive officials and members of the Indomitable and Almighty Movement Against the Re-election of Representative Abraham Vamuya Conacher. The movement against the re-election of Representative Abraham Vamuya Conacher, like you may know, the people in every country, people will elect a leader because they expect something from that leader. They elect that leader for their betterment and for the improvement of their livelihood. They elect the leader that by his care and concern, their status will be improved. Unless us with insults and abuses, most especially beating on us when we intend to speak to the issues of the state, the status of our district. That's the kind of person our lawmaker is. And somebody want to say, this man, you should not engage him because he's a rich man. This man, who makes Representative Conacher a rich person? Representative Conacher is not a rich man. I don't consider him a rich man. Because when the last time I checked my dictionary, the definition of a rich person is someone who is in a capacity, who uses his layman power and limited resources to empower more than 20% in the whole community, to empower more than 15% in Cloud Town, to empower young people in the loops and corner of our district. That's a rich person. That's the tendency of a rich person. A rich person is not somebody who uses his resources to hunt down critical voices. A rich person is not somebody who uses his resources to intimidate the young people of that particular constituency. A rich person should not be somewhere when the population over which he presides, over 95% of the young people in that particular constituency cannot provide. to obtain education. You call yourself a rich man, he's not a rich man.
Well, we're going to deal with a number of things. Well, whether he's just a rich man or not, but leadership was, let's look at, what you have in your district. Do you have, a representative representing you, beginning with lawmaking? What can you say about that?
Well, what we have in our district is not lawmaker. Representative Conan is an autocrat. Representative Conan is a dictator. Representative Conan is not somebody who go in the House of Representatives to make a case on behalf of the people of our district. Since he's a senator at the House of Representatives, Representative Conan has not made a case on behalf of the people of our district. He has not even raised a hand in session. So, a lawmaker,
he has not raised any issue regarding that geared towards benefit the people of District 14. Is that what you're saying?
The reason why I want to believe, the reason why he has not raising his hand to make a case on behalf of the people of our district is because he is insensitive to the plight of the people of our district. The people of our district are confronted with series of issues that must be addressed by a lawmaker and that must be put forth.
So in lawmaking, he's zero.
He's zero.
Let's look at representation.
Representation, the lawmaker is more than zero. He's not representing us at the level of
he represented you. You got a police station. He represented you. You got a clinic. The building is constructed as supposed to be a clinic, a proposed clinic. He represented you. You now going to be having a modern town hall in Claratown. So what is your definition of representation in this context?
Well, Representative Conan, you said he provided a police station. I want to make this emphatically clear.
It's just representation now, because it also covers his oversight. Because for the best of my knowledge, is I know he contributed something towards that police station that all of you benefit from today. Isn't that representation? Isn't that part of oversight responsibility?
It is part of oversight responsibility, but that is not the core. That was not the core of the people. That was not the crowd of the people. The crowd of the people, a representative will always look forward to the people from the people. The decision should come from the people.
So he doesn't solicit the views.
He doesn't solicit decision. He doesn't solicit the view of the people. In fact, when the people want to give their view, he runs after them. He is, like I said from the onset, he is a dictator. He do what pleases him. What he actually is doing now in station number 14, he carrying red dead in front of the clinic. All right, 110th Street. That did not come from the people. The people now are opting for Matthew Sonu to be uplifted to a senior house status. They are not calling for red dead. He took bridge to Abuja community. That's not the crowd of the people. The people are opting.
What are you saying? That people of Abuja community who were disconnected, a lawmaker took a bridge there. You say it was not a crowd of the people. What do you think was the crowd of the people?
The crowd of the people in Abuja. I live in Abuja community. The bridge there, Representative Conan, when the bridge was constructed by Muka Kepura Kamara and 4 years ago,
what kind of bridge is that?
That's Plain Bridge. Oh. That bridge was constructed by Honorable Kamara. Honorable Kamara constructed a bridge. Representative Conan went there and he said that the bridge, in fact, it was below standard, and that he, Representative Conan, was going to carry a concrete bridge in Abuja community. So the people expected concrete bridge. Sale, Representative Conan went and constructed the same Plain Bridge that he criticized yesterday.
So that's betrayal. That's the point you came from, right?
Betrayal.
That it was not the expectation of the people.
That's not the expectation.
And he promised them.
And
right?
in fact, over 2,500 people reside in Abuja community. The people are opting for public toilet. There are a lot of things that people need in Abuja community, but because he is insensitive to those things, so he went and provided Plain Bridge. And the people in Abuja don't want Plain Bridge.
Now, but let's look at you're talking about all of these things you talk about. The lawmaker would not see your problems, just like God. If you don't pray, he doesn't hear you. You have to ask and you get. Seek, you will find. Knock and the door will be open. When was the last time you people, seek attention, seek audience with the lawmaker to say, listen, here are the issues we have. Can we have a discussion on these things? What has happened in that direction?
The lawmaker is inaccessible. The lawmaker, the first press statement that this movement read, we took this press statement to the office of a lawmaker. And Mantaya, when somebody say the clothes you're wearing is not good, I think to speak to the plight of that person is for you to go and put yourself in a very good condition so that your clothes can look better. But when somebody say your clothes is not good, and then you prepare your face.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then you prepare your face to attack the person. Instead of you going to the issue of the request the person is making, we had a lot of issues on the press statement that needed to be addressed. Up to now, those questions are yet to be addressed.
What are some of the issues you highlighted?
The issues we highlighted is since 10 years, since the lawmaker got elected, our district has not had a report from the office of the lawmaker. There have been no district report. In fact, since the lawmaker took over as representative of our district, he has not had a single district sitting. He has not had a single district meeting with our district.
2 terms in leadership. Are you
leadership.
kidding me? And you people sat in the district and the lawmaker ran their district for almost 9 years without any report whatsoever, without any comprehensive report, without any district sitting. So how is the district being run?
The district people, the young people in the district are afraid because they take Representative Kono to be a tyrant. He runs after critical for us. We are resolved. We have promised, and we want to be recorded in history that we are undertaking this struggle in the name for the sake of the people of our district. Because we cannot sit there and allow our district to be the most backward district and most misrepresented district in Monsowaro County. We cannot allow that. So that's the reason why we, as young people of our district, we are racing up to say to our people that we have to stand for the cause. We have to stand up to the cause because this lawmaker is misrepresenting us, and we have to stand to it.
Well, Mr. Sakar is also here. Mervyn Sakar is the Secretary General of this movement. Mervyn, tell us about the euphoria of today's gathering at the Capitol building. Is it something that one should expect any attraction, or you just using my platform now to be heard without you taking much action at the Capitol?
Well, thank you very much. But before I go to that, I want to acknowledge I want to recognize the hostility and violence that took place in our district day before yesterday and yesterday. Which
recently?
Which landed 3 young people dead. Yeah. Two community all by state.
Two community recorded 3 deaths?
3 deaths day before yesterday night. And yes, 2 dead persons day before yesterday night, and 1 dead yesterday morning.
Tell us about that.
So we want to recognize that, we condemn the violence, and we also sympathize with the family. But with that,
what led to the deaths?
Well, I'm told the first guy who was stabbed in Claretown was about argument about who is Peking and who is Babi. And the other guy encouraged his friend. He gave his friend scissor and stabbed the guy. And in the community on Claretown field, one Prince Free, who is a former student of mine, he was also stabbed for girlfriend commotion. You understand? So the next morning, the guy who gave the scissor to the guy who stabbed the other guy, he was identified, and the angry mob killed him. So we condemn that, and we sympathize with the bereaved family.
Okay.
But
let's make progress.
Amidst the hostility and sadness in our district, Matthias, our district representative, Honorable Abraham Vamuya Kone, who's supposed to be somebody to intervene to see that this matter is lie a be. And in fact, similar incidents have taken place in Dole community about 2 or 3 months ago, where 2 persons landed dead. The lawmaker did not intervene. He did not intervene. And day before yesterday, and yesterday even, the lawmaker also have not intervened. But sadly, is adding to the hostility and violence of our district.
How so?
If you take your microphone to Dole community or Claretown, you'll be told that yesterday evening and up to yesterday night, over 50 grown-up men were parading the streets of district number 14. They are higher gains of Honorable Kone.
And how do you conclude that a lawmaker will hire people to parade the district? What for?
They are going after us. Are you not aware that one of our comrades, the head of propaganda of this movement, Comrade Alaji Senwa of Claretown, he was captured? Matthias, can you imagine that? From his house. The guy was captured from his house.
I spoke with a young guy on the phone yesterday. He said he was picked up from Dole community and carried all the way to Claretown in the vehicle.
Thank you very much.
Of 2 security personnel.
He was started up, and then he was taken to Famuko Market. The market owned and operated by AVC. where he was gruesomely brutalized, and they even attempted throwing him into the Mesorado River. I had not been the mercy of one of them. And I just say one who have been dead today. As if that is not sufficient, and O'Connor is still hunting us. He is hunting David G. Wizard as chairman of this movement. He's hunting Riaz Woolley as vice chair for president publicity of this movement. He's also hunting me and other comrades. Those guys even went down on one of our militant in presence of Sekou Krumah. They beat Sekou Krumah, and he was lucky to escape.
Is the district that bad in terms of people cannot speak freely in a district and you are haunted?
You just couldn't imagine or couldn't believe that for 10 years the mayor have been sitting and represented, and he has not given a single district report because the mayor have been intimidating critical voices. So are you aware that I was incarcerated in few days in the Suntin police station in Toho community? Because somebody sent me threatening text message on my phone that they will kill me, and I shouldn't sleep to my house. I took that police that complaint to the station. That tester was identified and invited to the station, and that tester has to be he's having to be somebody from AVC camp in presence of one George V. Saleh Mata. You'll be surprised to know, before even the arrival of George V to that police station, arrived the business manager of AVC. The guy who manages AVC business in Vatan, he arrived at the police station before even the accused George even arrived. So a person stand there, intimidate the investigator, and in fact, he prejudiced the entire case when the investigator was not even ashamed to look to my face and say in charge, I'm to a officer circle who have been threatening, who laugh have been threatening. He charged me along with the comrade George Bizarre with this already conduct, for which the both of us were incarcerated. Less than 30 minutes, George V was free.
And you were
less than 30 minutes, George V was free from the cell. And I remained in that cell up to the evening. Had it not been intervention of some big brothers, I would have slept in that cell. So this speaks how APC is intimidating critical forces.
So let's go to Capitol building now. You have a statement here that you're taking to the Capitol building to present to the Speaker, Buffer Chambers. Without reading word for word what is contained in it, would you summarize for us what message are you taking to the lawmakers?
We are going to the Capitol building this morning to actualize two objectives. One of them is to complain our district representative Abraham Vamuya Kone to the Speaker, Honorable Buffer Chambers, that Honorable Vamuya Kone is brutalizing young people in the district. Is after us. As I'm speaking to you, I did not sleep to my house last night. In fact, I'm not in a district. We are in hiding. Why should we be in hiding in such a modern society?
Maybe it could not be that a lawmaker himself is the one after you, but this politics thing you guys are into, some people love this person, they believe in this person. So supporters of, another political actor could just go after another person who's coming against that person. How do you guys, derive at the conclusion that it is the lawmaker that's after you people?
The case with our colleague Alhaji Senwa, head of the Propaganda Bureau, who was massively flogged. Alhaji Senwa, his parents along with police officers walked to that Vamuko market yesterday, and AVC apologized to the family of our comrade Alhaji Senwa. That speaks that AVC admitted that the act was committed by him and it was under his watchful eye. So why should we still be asking who is sponsoring the guys after us? AVC has admitted that it's the person that is after us. It's the person that unmercifully flogged Alhaji Senwa yesterday.
Let's go back to the Capitol.
So to Capitol building, we are complaining AVC to the Speaker about the attitude on our comrade Alhaji Senwa and the stealing on us. AVC is stealing us, so we are complaining to the Speaker. Second most, we want to inform the people of Liberia, and by extension the people of the world, that district number 14 over the last 10 years have been preoccupied with series of questions and scores of grievances that our lawmakers have not been able to address. Notable of them, my chairman made mention of Mafi Soni. Mafi Soni Junior High School is the only public school that we have in district number 14. So the people of district number 14 are calling on the honorable man to advocate, because he's our representation in the national government framework of this country. So that he can advocate on behalf of the district for Mavis Sonin to be uplifted from junior high to secondary status. So that our brother can avoid the unprecedented motor accidents that they encounter on a daily basis as they go to district number 8 and district number 16 in pursuit of secondary education. We're also asking on Kone. You made mention of the clinic that was constructed by the government of Liberia to LACE, the Liberian Agency for Community Initiative or Empowerment. That clinic was constructed 5 years later. That clinic is yet to be operational. Our representative lacks the ball, the lobbyistic power, and the advocative uprightness to push to the national government for that place to be operational. So we are going to also inform the people that for 5 years that place has been constructed and our representative lacks the lobbyistic power to have that place operational. Even though they have the call to the upliftment of Mavis Sonin to secondary status, you'll be surprised that Honorable Kone is erecting and in fact has completed the erection. Honorable Kone has completed construction of a state-of-the-art international private school for himself at his market.
He's a businessman.
As I'm speaking to you now,
that's his money. He's a businessman. Melvin,
as I'm speaking to you now, representing Kone's wife, Jebe Soni Kone, is in China. She's in China, and to go and purchase their school materials because I'm told by next academic year that school will be operational. That school, the people of district number 14 cannot afford to send their children to that school. So the people of district number 14 is calling upon Kone to have Mavis Sonin uplifted so that children can obtain secondary education.
Melvin, for you guys, as young intellectuals as you guys are, to be in that district and see that you have a lawmaker who've been there for, this is his second term. I think he's gone 3 years now in his second term, making it 9 years altogether in office. So you're saying he's been there for the past 8 or 9 years without making any district report and a comprehensive report like Abu Kamara just did.
Exactly.
All right. Without calling any district meeting.
Exactly.
That people will come up with suggestions as to how to move the district forward. This man does not come to the cause of the people. He does not listen to the concerns of the people. The action you're taking today, what impact, what difference do you think is going to make if you get to the Capitol building and then file a petition to the body?
Well, we are going to force Honorable Kone. We will force Honorable Kone to take instruction from us. Matthias, the Constitution says that all government is instituted for the happiness of the people and that the people have the right to instruct their representative. Representative Kone is our representative. We have the right to instruct Representative Kone to do what we want. Representative Kone is only privileged to be seated as our district 14 representative. That seat is for the people of district number 14. But sadly, the over 45,000 people of district 14 cannot sit in the horse to read law. So we pick one person. He is not seated there as Abraham Vamuya Kone. He's seated there as the people of district number 14. So we are going to force Representative Kone. We will force Representative Kone. This is our first step. Secondly, we'll be engaging the National Elections Commission because he has pronounced a bid for third term. He's enjoying a second term now. We are going to engage the National Elections Commission to have the centers, the voting centers that are at Kone's market and the one at his house. We're going to read and we're going to prevail. We'll bring pressure to bear on the National Elections Commission to have those centers relocated.
You think the centers also contribute to his victory?
Exactly.
How so? Are the people who vote at those centers, are they not residents? Are they not residents of the district?
You are just astonished how the men managed to pocket a second term when in fact for 10 years they may have not given a single district report. Let me tell you what
is it that
whether 2011 or 2017, Representative Kone have never been elected by the people's vote of district number 14. Representative Kone is in a constant habit of talking people to our district. The man talks people from Kemau. He trusts people from Rehefi. He trusts people from District 7, West Point, to impose them on us. Why should we have a voting center in the Vamuko market when the Vamuko market is not a residential area? The vast majority of the people that sell in our Vamuko market are not residents of district number 14. So why should center be established in the Vamuko market? Why should Representative Kone be a player at the same time be a referee in the election to establish a voting center at his house? The voting center at the house of Representative Kone gives Representative Kone exclusive control over that particular center. So that's the reason why we're going to inform NEC. Maybe they are not aware. We're going to inform that they are being disingenuous to the democracy and the democratic thoughts of the people of district number 14.
Okay.
We're going to inform them that to establish center to AVZ house is conflict of interest. And today, we're also going to be asking Representative Kone to give us account of our recently received legislative project 30K. All of the representatives, if not all, but vast majority of the representatives in this country have taken initiative with their legislative project 30K.
The lawmaker just built the Abuja Bridge. He just constructed the Abuja Bridge.
Is that justification? Is that justification for 30K? Have you seen the bridge the lawmaker built? The bridge the man built is less than the bridge that was there. The man carry 2 by 6 planks that he took for Action City Church around Facebook. The bridge have not even ended. They are not absorbed the entire length of the Abuja community. The bridge had 2 by 10 planks. The man carry 2 by 6 planks. They telling me that justification about 30K. No, we're going to be joking.
Okay, so
he has to be joking.
Okay, folks, you're listening to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.20. You're listening to 2 young people here from district number 14. They are from the movement against the re-election of their district lawmaker, district representative Abraham Vamuya Kone. Again, we are extending an open invitation to the office of the lawmaker, to come up here and refute some of these allegations levied against the lawmaker by these young people. We've reached out. Every time people come on our platforms to make allegation, we reach out to the office of the lawmaker. So we hope that the lawmaker will see the need to also use this platform to speak to the people of District 14. But let's hear from you. Call us on the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223. 0777 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias, and good morning to your studio guest.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you, sir.
My name is Francis N. and I join you from Clarendon this morning.
Go ahead.
It is unfortunate to listen to those guys in studio saying all of those negative things about the lawmaker. Because those guys are not giving you tangible reason why for which they are going against the lawmaker. If you get those guys 10 hours, 20 hours, they will not tell you nothing. All of those things they are saying, I think they are messing so many developments about the lawmaker. And in lawmaking, it is not the responsibility of a lawmaker to go and build bridges. But for the fact that the lawmaker is building bridges, and it is building private schools for people to go, then you must understand that it's working. Those guys, I don't think they will agree the lawmaker because they don't want to see the lawmaker doing this, do that.
Okay.
But I agree the lawmaker. First, the main thing I agree the lawmaker is because he is backsliding for the CEC agenda and telling all those things that he feels that his people need. That's all.
Oh, he's backsliding from the CDC agenda. Anyway, let's move on to this other person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you. This is the chairman, Prince of Michael Tuti in Ibrahim to what a Nimla.
Mr. Nimla, you have to walk away from the noise and put some live in your voice and speak quickly.
Well, thank you. Sorry, I'm on campus, so
okay, yeah, please go ahead.
The noise in my background. Well, having said that, Matthias, well, I may appreciate the 2 brothers in studio, the movement against the re-election of Honorable Kone. And I think they spoke excellently. We, as friends of citizens, will come up with an official release because we are following issues within the district of recent. So now I'm speaking in my capacity as the friends of Michael Citizen Chair. Matthias, let me say this for the record. It is the law empowering upon every citizen to question their officials to do the necessary things once that citizen so believes that that official is not working in line with the TOR. So the recent happening within District 14 or with Honorable Conan beating on members of that movement, we want to condemn that in the strongest terms. And we want to say this, Matthias, that we're going to be aware that he was elected by the majority of the people of District 14. And it is their responsibility if they see that he is not doing what is necessary for them to call upon him to do such. And the protest today, all the petition are capital building. We want to assure them that we will be there in our numbers. And if you see that he can beat the entire district, we'll be waiting for him to beat the entire district. But you should really assure that you will be accountable to the people and the part that he better lay, you will respond to them. Give
Okay.
an opportunity, we'll come back subsequently.
Thank you so much. Let's hear from this other person here. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This is Alvin Ezra, PR over the national movement in support of the CDC. Like I said, I'm also in a call from Moravia this morning.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Matthias, listen to you guys in studio, and I mean, you guys are in the right. They are not in the wrong. The advocacy is in the right. I mean, how will you have? Imagine we for the CDC since I started since the inception of that honorable. I've not heard that honorable speaking one day in the house to push the case of the people. I mean, how will you be a lawmaker and you are so quiet, you are so soft, we cannot hear you speaking on issues. I've always, like for example, I'm always in the cloud down there, in district number 14. The lawmaker is so much self-centered. I've not seen that lawmaker to people reaching out to people. And I mean, you cannot be a lawmaker like that. To be a lawmaker, you have to be people-centered person. So I would like to applaud these guys. But one advice I would like to give them is that they should always do the advocacies and activity in a very moderate manner. They should stay away from violence.
Okay.
But that quest and that action, it is genuine.
Okay.
It is incumbent upon us to put our leaders' feet to the fire.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Let's move on to this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much. This is a Bayamin Kapla Santi Jr., former chairperson of the Veterans Bureau.
Go ahead, Mr. Santi.
Thank you very much, Matthias. Let me say good morning to the GM Commerce in studio. Well, Matthias, I follow all of the points, and I've been following them from the inception of the creation of this group. I think they are doing extremely well. Matthias, when a lawmaker lacks policy and programs to transform the lives and livelihood of the people, the only thing they result into is the act of brutal politics. And this is the case of Honorable Ibrahim Vamuyakone. I think it's becoming very habitual of this lawmaker that when every time people try to question him as a public official, the only thing he result to is the other hooligans that doesn't have the requisite know-how to beat on your comrades who are fighting for the better of the district. But let me say this, Matthias. What happened to the brother few nights ago? That's why he's not with the ruling establishment, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't reside in the community. Will not go unnoticed. We are following with key interests and will respond to it in a computer. Matthias, few days ago, I think you have been following, right? There was an incident that occurred in the community. Someone took knife and took a friend. The other people got vexed.
Yeah.
They went to the place, they took a friend, and beat on the man, died.
Yeah.
A few months ago, the whole community was characterized with thugs. People couldn't pass through the community. Because people joined the road, block the whole road, and kill two persons. Do you think in your own mind, should people in this district, the place to consider as the birthplace of the president, live in fear? I think Honorable Conan needs to step on his game. But if you feel that he doesn't, he's not questionable to anybody,
We tell him that when it comes to 2023, we will sit at the ballot box. He can run the district like it's a personal property.
Thank you, Mr. Santi, Mr. Tapla Santi. Let's move on to another person on the line. Call us on the numbers 0777 107, 0777 221 223. Are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program you're listening to straight from the heart. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Let's hear you. Please walk away from the noise.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Andrew from the charge of Westmont, the 7th to be shot.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think Honorable ABC needs to be removed because he's one of the representatives who is not care for these people or since we want to no further of this. There's no electricity. We see what instead of massive murder.
Well, you live, look, my man, you in West Point there. How you know say your friend and I get all that in District 14?
I live in there.
Wobbly living here.
I voted for ABC.
Well, all of you the truck from West Point to go to do community to vote. Okay, so you voted for ABC from West Point. Call us on the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223. Are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. We have a group in the studio here called Movement Against the Re-Election of District 14 Representative Abraham Vamuya Kone. I wish to speak with the office of the lawmaker. And again, I'm going to do my follow-up again today to extend an open invitation to the lawmaker's office to respond to some of these allegations, not only from this group, from several other residents of the area. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This is status Tobla Bali, Deputy Secretary General, Movement Against the Re-Election of Abraham Vamuya Kone.
Go ahead.
I join you from my hiding zone.
Why you hiding for what?
Abraham Vamuya Kone chasing after all of the leaders of Movari.
But how you guys will go after someone's election? You think you're going to have someone brain their money, you want to take it? The man is
Matthias.
He said that you don't want the man to be re-elected.
Our life will begin to end the day we remain silent on things that matter. Why should we remain silent on a man who doesn't have a district office? Why should we remain silent on a man who refuses to audit on the legislative project or engagement 30,000? Wow, Matthias. Let me congratulate my brother in studio there. They spoke lengthily and everything I didn't say is true. The Liberal Legislative Watch is our source. If you check the Liberal Legislative Watch, you see the poor performance and zero service of Abraham Vamuya Kone. Matthias, you can check it off. You can go away, Liberal Legislative Watch.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for your contribution. Let's hear from this other person on this side of the line here. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
This is Jim Morris. I call from my office, Namusu. I want to say thank you to those guys.
Satya? Hello? Oh, Satya left the line. So let's move on to another person. Call us in the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223. Are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Let me say good morning to our speaker guest.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm still negotiating calling for Abuja Community District 14.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that the lawmaker is working on a just a front. You enter our community, you move 2 by 10 plans, and then you go 2 by 10 plans, then you go to the development carry on. It is laughable. And then you enter the community, the people refuse that because the problem is there. A cement bridge, then I bring it, the people that know. And when they get 100,000. The past 10 years, 2011, when they did the cement bridge, people from the community, they volunteer well. But now each day they pay $2,000 because I feel the people are District 14, the people are Abuja community. So I want to tell the officer on the corner that the people are Abuja community will not vote in 2023. Thanks for the giving.
All right. Thanks for your contribution on the program. I mean, you just one man, you call that, you talking on behalf of all the people there. That what the people say, they will not vote the mayor again. All right. But yeah, gentlemen, you guys are here. So I have with me in the studio this morning the movement against the re-election of Representative Abraham Vamuya Kona III of Montserrat County District 14. Several concerns have been raised by the people. We hope that the office of the lawmaker can, quickly respond to these. But let's hear from at least few persons. We'll wrap up our guest and call it a day today. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, there is Benjamin Sahi, though I'm in my sick bay. I want to congratulate you guys in the studio. I'm one of the person who always advocated for this issue. But Matara, let's be sincere and be realistic. Our honorable is not in our interest because he's a businessman. Every time you go to him, I'm a businessman, so you don't understand politics. So send his businessman for our district because every time you want to put in us, look at our town hall, our town hall of this time, the power can be finished. So Honorable Corner, he's looking about that. So those young guys are doing the job of protect them. But Honorable Corner, he said before somebody put in, your grandmother, the district before somebody closer to him, but okay, your grandmother. Because that was the statement he made. He said when he moved from there, we made a block with me from there. He made that statement in front of me. Because we be at town, at that time, if you want to pay town, not our horses. And at the end of the day, the town, they playing Mawa, people then we were not in it. Now, open no anything. Recently, because the children around, why we bring it there, man.
Okay.
I think that I'm happy. So I want to congratulate my boys in the studio who will be on, and somehow will be covered with Jordan.
Thanks for the contribution on the program this morning. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Fine, thank you.
Matthias, first, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Let's hear you.
Prince Broderick 911. Matthias, what I want to say to some of the lawmakers, when they are brought to run their campaign, they shouldn't lie to the Liberian people that I'm going to do XYZ. It's just like you give me a piece of job to wire your house. I say, I will put a decent feature. The switch, I will put it in your bedroom that I'll be able to control when you go into the bathroom. But at the end of the day, when I'm starting that job, it is different. I'm begging the lawmakers that you stop fooling the Liberian people. Look, you can fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. And sometimes they do things that is not right. But you know what? We are not acting like Moses when he was leaving the children of Israel. They said that they wanted a king. And he said, no, you need a leader, not a ruler. And they continued. Moses cried to God, and God gave it to them, and now they started complaining. So Liberians, they're coming again to vote again. Be wise. Thank you. Now, 1-1 Prince Broderick.
1-1, and that's it. We call it a day now on this edition of the program. Straight from the heart. One more person. Okay, let's squeeze in this last person. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is the boss of Mercy F. Tama coming from HQ number 14.
Mercy Tamba.
Let me appreciate your speaking case. You see, we tire with this lawmaker because the lawmaker believe that he has money, he will charge people to bring people in district number 14 to 40. So he will just leave our community undone. You see the cleaners that in Joe Committee red and the play are used for office for the Joe Committee Youth Association. And I went at the lawmaker office who went to inform me on some issues. The lawmaker was able to tell us, looking at our faces, telling us that he never received any money from this government. Where is the 30 kids? The lawmaker decided to bring votes into committee. He left the vote on our face with our own. Why you should treat on? Why you should treat on like this? We have two police stations over your control. So we call upon the election commission to remove that police station. So because some people over there are said they are not residents of
district number 14. So we'll continue to push the issue until that make it be removed from that position. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thanks for the contribution as well, Mercy. First female caller on the program this morning. Let's begin with you. We're close with the secretary and then close with the chairman. Yes, let's hear from you, Mr. Saka.
Thank you, Matthias. You see, the people say evil never prevail over good. So they say. So it will be very difficult for people coming in defense of this lawmaker. Somebody spoke that it is not the lawmaker who's supposed to build bridge. Even if I will agree to your argument, but we are questioning the lawmaker about the legislative project 30K. If it is not the responsibility to build bridge, so why are you taking legislative project money? You understand?
They say legislative engagement. So it's possible a lawmaker could stop by and visit some people and have an interaction with them, take care of 1 or 2, 3 persons.
Let the district know about it. And the reason why we're asking you to.
So he's not told you people anything about this money.
We are telling you for 10 years the man has not spoken to the people. The man gossips. Representative gossips. He have since 2011, Representative have not officially spoken to the people of district number 14. You understand that? Somebody spoke about violence. This movement, we will never succumb the struggle of the over 45,000 people of our district to violence. Yesterday, we had a number to move on Representative Kone and investment. The guy beat on having to be the COP coordinator of district number 14. The entire COP youth league was in district number 14 yesterday.
I saw the crowd.
Young people of district number 14 sympathizers, they gathered. And men and gallant militants of the movement also gathered. We have over 70 persons that could march in our Vaumuko market and destroy properties. But we don't want to reduce this debate and the people's struggle to violence. So we're going to remain civil. We are calling on the civil society. We are calling on the government of Liberia. Please listen. We don't want you to call for a Thursday report. We don't want you to advocate for a Thursday report.
What do you mean?
Representative Kone is telling us his talks are rendering threats on our life. We are in Haiti. We are not to our houses, but our families are there. So we are sounding this call to the government of Liberia and to the civil society and as well the international community through its representation in Monrovia that our life are at risk. Representative Kone is moving on us. He has talks. He has a capacity to kill people. Representative Kone has a capacity to kill people.
Without proof, we don't want to.
Over 50 persons marched into our community yesterday evening. If any one of us would have been caught last night, this morning will be the story we're hearing on the news.
Okay, thank you.
So we please gather because it's our men signal us now. The grounds of the capital, join them, let march into history. Posterity can flip our pictures.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mervyn Saka. Let's hear you finally, sir, Mr. Chairman of the movement against the re-election of Kone.
Thank you very much, brother Matthias. I want to say thank you to the family of Sky FM for this golden opportunity afforded us. You know, you said that you are engaging and you continue to engage the office of a lawmaker and you're not getting positive response. The lawmaker's office will not respond to you because the entire office of a lawmaker is intellectually bankrupt, including the honorable man. They will not respond to you because, you know, Matthias' lies are very difficult to be told. Those guys will not come on the radio to say anything because they don't have anything to say to the people of our district. Somebody said we are against the lawmaker because he's not in line with the CDC or he's not working in chalk line with the CDC. I want to disagree with that person. This movement, I was the chairperson of this movement. I am an executive official of the Indomitable National Youth League of the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change, number 14 charter. This is not about CDC. This is not about the CPP. This is not about the COP. All of the partisans and executive officials of all those political parties are only the umbrella of the movement against the re-election of Representative Abraham Kone. So this movement comprises of numerous political party partisans. This is not only CDC. So nobody should come here and say the seditions are against the lawmaker. No, it is not the seditions that are against the lawmaker. It is the people of our district that are against this lawmaker. And let me say to the issue of the clinic, there have been 3 different investors who have engaged the clinic to operate the clinic. But because our lawmaker is a dictator and because he's not in the interest of the people of our district, he has deliberately refused to grant permission to the investors to operate our clinic. The guy who operated eye session in JFK, when Dr. Gisi, he went to district number 14 and requested that he want to operate the clinic and save the eyes of the people, all people of our district. Representative Conan looked in the face of the man and he said, no. So this lawmaker is not in our interest. We should not continue with this man. Let us say no to this tyrannic regime. Let us say no to AVC.
Thank you.
Join us at the Capitol today. Please don't sit back. Nobody will do it for you. You have to join us at the Capitol building, whatever you are in district number 14. Join us that march into history today. For affording us the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wisa. David Wisa is the head of the movement against the re-election of Abraham Vamuya Kone. Mr. Mervyn Sako is the Secretary General of the movement. And lastly, I just want to share with you as our motivational message. If you don't know the meaning of August, somebody just share with me that AUGUST, it means ask until God unveils something tangible. So I hope you can keep praying in this month until God can reveal or unveil something tangible in your life. My name is Matthias Labindi. Have yourselves a wonderful working day.
Hugh Jackman shares the moments he wants to relive whilst telling us about his film Reminiscence. Syrian musician Maya Youssef on how music helped her build a new life.
I am so grateful that I have music because there's no way I could have assimilated and understood, and it just became a way for healing for me.